Yo! Yes, everybody, we are back with some more Kagurabachi content, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are back with some chapter reviews. Your boy's strike from Shueisha in February done expired, so we back. Your boy finished ducking the heat, so welcome back to Kagurabachi. I just want to talk! So when we last left of Kagurabachi, we had Samura absolutely putting a smackdown on Hiruhiko. Now, Hiruhiko was approaching Kumayuri's true realm and actually was tapping into the abilities of the blade, only having it for a very minute amount of time. Now, some are arguing that Hiruhiko came to a better understanding of Kumayuri faster than Chihiro with N10. N10 is more so of like a counter blade to the other blades. And we kind of get more so of this feeling with the fact that Chihiro was able to use Nishiki's regenerative effects or like amplification effects on his body, on his inner ear, to help him not get disoriented whenever Kumayuri was moving the whole entire hotel around. As far as what counters Nishiki could have to Tobimune, I don't really know. We haven't seen Aka in like 30, 40 chapters, so I'm sure there's definitely something that could happen. Maybe Chihiro could absorb one of its feathers. We don't know. But throughout this entire debacle at the hotel, Chihiro was trying to warn Hiruhiko. He said, dude, you do not want to mess with Samura. He is going to kill you. This man has had this blade and known about this blade's abilities for over 20 years. This is a bad idea. And Hiruhiko just kept pressing it, threatening his daughter, and was trying to get actively a rise out of Chihiro as well as Samura. And Chihiro just does not care about him. Now, there definitely is a commentary relating to Hiruhiko's previous sexual abuse and how he views relationships compared to other people. And when we open up with this chapter, we see that when Samura has just Hiruhiko laid out, he's crying, he's upset. Chihiro isn't thinking about him at all. Before Samura struck him, Chihiro had this look on his eyes like, I told you, but you didn't listen to me. Now, Samura definitely is the biggest threat that Chihiro has ever faced up until this point, considering the fact that he completely nixed Hiruhiko's Kumayuri ability on the hotel. He has been sustaining Owl throughout Japan for days on end, which apparently consumes a massive amount of spirit energy, as you would rightfully assume. He still isn't tired. He's showing no signs of exhaustion. And Chihiro tries to rationalize what's happening, and he says that Suzaku can regenerate, but it can't resurrect the dead. It consumes tremendous energy, and if you keep getting wounded or rely on constant regeneration, you'll deplete your energy and collapse and die. Regeneration is limited, but Samura might have some JJK type shenanigans where he is regenerating his spirit energy or something like that. I don't know. There's some loop that Samura has figured out with this blade because he's so intimate with its knowledge. So it's very interesting to me. And before Samura can actually finish off Hiruhiko, our boy Kuguri actually attempts a sneak attack on him, which we all know this wasn't really going to work, but it was a play to get Hiruhiko out of there, and I appreciate him doing this. We actually get a bit of info on Kuguri's innate sorcery as well. It's basically Fajin from My Hero Academia, where repeated movements cause a kinetic buildup, but instead of kinetic energy and force, it's actually heat in this case. Something weird also is I would never peg Kuguri for like a fire or flame user. His design always speaks to, I don't know, just there's something about his design that just doesn't necessarily speak flames and things like that, because obviously characters with that archetype, they have like really big loud hair, they always have like red in their color palette. I'm pretty sure Kuguri's wearing white for the most part, so that's very interesting to me that he actually spits out heat instead. And actually its capacity is unlimited. The more he accumulates, the more powerful it gets, and for the past 7 months Kuguri has been fine with only his sword. So a big explosion happens, and Kuguri and Todo actually manage to sneak Hiruhiko out of the hotel, and they withdraw from the battle at this point. And for the Hishaku members at this point, this is a pretty big L. They have no Kumayuri. Samura literally had his foot on it saying, you're not getting this shit. One of their strongest fighters is down and out for the count, and they have no leverage. Samura's daughter's safe, so what now? Well, we do know what now. I'm saying for these particular members at this time. Also, it starts snowing because I guess it actually clouded out the sky. It wasn't like a transparent veil, the owl, which I'm referring to. No, the owl actually was blocking out the sun for so long, it started to affect the weather in Japan. Bro, what? What? That's crazy. Wow. And so then we actually have Hiruhiko thinking about his effect on Chihiro, and he comes to the realization that it ultimately amounted to nothing. He says that those eyes, he feels nothing for me, not even hatred, and he begins to weep and bawl. His mind is broken. And this frame like made me laugh really hard when I first saw it. I'm like, wow, you look like a fish Like, you look like a dead fish that someone pulled out of a river. But then it just made me a lot more sad when I thought about it, because Hiruhiko, again, with the sexual abuse, he doesn't know what a true healthy relationship even looks like. While yes, Yuta might not be physically abusing him in a traditional sense, Yuta doesn't care about him at all. We all know that Yuta thinks that he's just a weapon, a pawn to play. Every time Yuta talks about his development, it's not in a true parental sense. It's more just so, my weapon's getting stronger, so good for me. And so this is the first time I feel that Hiruhiko actually tried to make a legitimate connection with somebody, and it just didn't work. His brain doesn't know how to compute it. So honestly, it's pretty sad when you think about it, but it is still pretty funny, that the raw image just to look at. So when we come up Chihiro versus Samura, Samura asks Chihiro once again, why do you wield the enchanted blade again? And Chihiro says, I've learned everything about the malediction, the Swordmaster's crime. And Samura tries to say, no, everything that happened was the Swordmaster's doing. Your dad was only responsible for creating the weapons himself. He was just a hero who did everything he could for the country. And Chihiro actually doubts what he says. He says, yeah, that's what I'm told, and that's what Shiba says. But he's just like, there's something that just doesn't make sense to me. Now, we all know that, like they all have tremendous guilt, and Chihiro's dad feels guilty about the war and everything like that. There's something that doesn't make sense in the fact that why would Kunishige give the Shinuchi to the Swordmaster if he knew that it was corrupt? Allegedly, if they're his best friend, why would you do that to somebody? So either Kunishige had no idea that the Shinuchi was evil, or he knew that this blade actually could corrupt somebody's mind, but he did it for the sake of his country. That's probably what I'm leaning towards at the very end here, but there's still some gaps. We still have yet to have that actual flashback to what's happening. And Samura says, if you stand in my way, I'll cut you down again. And Chihiro actually says, the whole reason that I picked up this blade again is for Iori's future, and that future is you. I did it to stop you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I don't know if Chihiro really got the gas in him to finish this. Number one, he's exhausted. He's exhausted, and Samura is showing no signs of slowing down. The only way I could see Chihiro winning this fight is if Samura forfeits because of Iori. That's the only way I can see this happening. If not, that ain't looking good, bruh. Again, Enten's still a baby, and so is Kumayuri, so... Someone with 2 decades of experience on you? Oh yeah, no, it's raps. And so we should go back to the Kamunabi headquarters attack, where Yuta is actually planning to infiltrate and take the Shinuchi by force. And so we come to find out that 7 members of the Hishaku, the remaining Hishaku forces, are on their way down to grab the Shinuchi. And so I'm hoping that we get to see all these new members. Now, also, Shiba and Hiyuki, I have no idea why they mistranslated it. The translations for Kagurabachi have always been kind of weird, but Shiba and Hiyuki are on security down below, so we get to see them hopefully next chapter or the chapter after that. And then also our boy Azami is coming back into the fight to defend the blade. Also, something just really funny, the Kamunabi security guy looks exactly like Ino's dad from Naruto, and I don't think that that is an accident. I definitely think that Hokuzono is, you know, just like me and grew up with Naruto and all that. So that's kind of cool. But allegedly the 7 big hitters from the Hishaku besides Yuta himself are on their way down there now. So the plan, from what I'm gathering, is that the Hishaku knew where the Kamunabi's base of operations was, but they couldn't move because of Owl being over all of Japan. And as soon as it went down, I think that they used Hiruhiko as bait to go grab Iori, take his focus off of trying to search for the blade. And as soon as that Owl went down, then they're able to move in. And Shiro, unfortunately, isn't really helping by stalling Samura as well. And so the Kamunabi leaders give an order, all non-combatants evacuate immediately to the lowest level. And one of the Kamunabi leaders say, I know you're just waking up, but as you can see, it's an emergency. Can you move? And our boy Hakuri is back into the fight. Ooh! I missed you, my boy. Welcome back! Now, we all knew that Hikari was coming back because of the color art from the last chapter, and that it was Iori, Chihiro, and Hikari on the color page. But it's still so good to see him. I'm very curious to see what new tricks he has. Now, I don't think he's been training. I mean, he's been recuperating. It hasn't been that long since the Rakuzaichi, realistically. It's only been like a couple days. I'm assuming he can spam Iso more, and he might have some more tricks up his sleeve as far as a storehouse. But as far as like actual combat training, we need him to actually get some hand-to-hand combat going. We need Azami actually to, you know, give our boy some hands. Now, I don't know if he had known a little bit, at least from what he was taught, because we all know that Soya and the other siblings, we knew they could fight, the members of the TOE, right? So I don't know if our boy Hikuri watched at least a little bit. I know he probably knows the bare basics, but as far as actual like prowess, we know that he has nothing really. He was getting beat on by thugs when Chihiro encountered him. So I don't know. We will see, but I'm so glad that our boy Hikuri is back into the fight. But yeah, I don't know what I don't know what Hiruhiko thought he was gonna do. Oh, bro. Yo, Samura really put belt to ass on this child in under 10 minutes. That's insane, dog. That's crazy. Also, something interesting, the fact that with Suzaku's regeneration, I think it... Hold on, wait a minute. Theory time. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait. This has hit my brain, y'all. What if Samura not healing his eyes, because we know that Suzaku has regenerative abilities, what if he is using his eye as like a pact to keep everything else going? We know that he already has sacrificed his sight, so what if it's like a binding vow from JJK where he can keep that regeneration going infinitely because he has no sight? Maybe, I don't know, y'all. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I might be cooking. Y'all might be cooking. Or it might just be straight hogwash. We'll see. I don't know. But it's me, TheOGDaffy, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on this video. Please leave a like down in the comments below. And let me know what you guys think about this chapter of Kagurabachi. Not a super heavy action chapter. And I don't think there was anything too much going on. But a lot of setup for the next upcoming chapter. We are deep in this arc, man. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. I'm curious. Anyway, it's me, your boy TheOGDaffy. And I will see you in the next video. Y'all make sure you take care of yourselves, guys. And have a damn good one. Peace.